Hey guys, so let's just get into this because the chapter starts off with following up with the aftermath of Big Mom's defeat, which, right off the bat, I love how a combination of Big Mom's last-ditch effort in using her soul focus and Law using his room technique in a similar fashion to Kotozone's Com fruit to prevent her from using it created this whole like domino effect of also extinguishing like of Conjuro's ink monster, which it makes sense as it was connected to Conjuro's soul. And honestly, the more I think about what Law did in general, the more it makes even if Conjuro's soul wasn't a part of the equation, what Law did just makes all the sense in the world. In order to really defeat Big Mom, you kind of have to shut her up. Like seeing as how, as proven time and again throughout this time after time throughout the series, Big Mom's powers really is that of like the power of the spoken word. So if you shut that down, you've already cut her power in half at least. And I just love how creative that was because how creative that was because now granted I do think that it is kind of it is a little bit of Oda just trying to like it does feel like Oda is trying to dragging on the fight a little bit longer still just for narrative purposes, but other than that I still loved how Oda handled that through Law and whatnot. Of course, with Big Mom's defeat, we also get a huge reveal that Roger had supposedly hid away a portion of the Roger or that it was either Roger or Odin who had actually hidden away a portion of the One Piece on Wano. And honestly, this reveal makes way too much sense because remember, I think it was during Kaido's fight with Yamato that it was revealed that there was a part of Wano that was closed off to the population and that was only accessible by the Kozuki or Yamato's Devil Fruit. But now now it all makes sense why Kaido was so interested in Wano to begin with, or how he was even like certain he could attract pirates to Wano and bring them under his umbrella, because he'll be able to entice them with the promise of just that small portion of the One Piece is going to be enough in order to entice pirates here, and just that small portion will be enough to convince them to not only fight for Kaido, but like honestly, we have to assume Kaido already knows how to get to Laugh Tale. All he's doing here is amassing a force that's just powerful enough to mow down any obstacles in his path. Like what Kaido's doing right now is a very One Piece twist on a classic pirate trick, which is hoping they'll, which is Kaido's basically hoping any pirates he brings under his umbrella are all going to die along the way of clearing a path for him, so he can claim the whole prize of One Piece for himself. And assuming that is his plan, again, it just goes to show how just how even further just how further opposite like Kaido is at this point from Luffy. When ironically, a lot back in the day, Kaido was a lot like Luffy as well. Like when you with Luffy, like when you compare what Kaido's doing right now of like just bringing people, just wanting to bring people under his umbrella in order to use them as sacrificial pawns to get the One Piece. Luffy, on the other hand, believes if his friends aren't with him by the end of this journey, then it wouldn't even be worth it to find the One Piece. So yeah, it's like it really is kind of a night and day difference with how Kaido is approaching this, with how Kaido's kind of approaching this right now. And of course, that's not the only big reveal we get, though, either, as apparently Momonosuke reveals to Yamato that Zunisha, a long time ago, 800 years ago, was a criminal and an accomplice of Joy Boy. And if I'm understanding the implied context, basically Zunisha had his body or soul sealed away within that elephant body as punishment for his crimes. But now him being here at all, it shows that Zunisha himself was never fully awakened, almost as if his soul like was fully trapped within the elephant. But now his soul has more or less, now his soul and his power, through that his power as well has fully awakened. And honestly, just the fact that I'm saying that at all and combining that with again the reveal of Zunisha being Joy Boy's accomplice 800 years ago, I think this is potentially leading into the first major like breakthrough with the Void Century, and what I mean by that is, I think I think Oda is right now. I don't know if it was just setting more like of the foundation for it to reveal later, but I think at some point very soon we will get the reveal of the Lost Society that was lost to time, lost time through Zunisha in some way, whether that's through getting an actual flashback of what happened 800 years ago, and the whole context of the Void Century and the Lost Kingdom and all that, or or we could potentially, or we will literally get a part, or just a portion of that lost kingdom, that lost society will finally reveal itself to us. Like it'll almost submerge out of the water or something. I think this is Oda's way of conveying to us that those hundreds to thousands of years of history that were lost to time are about to resurface, and is practically right around the corner And what happens from here is, it is going, one way or another, what happens from here is going to bite the government so hard in the ass. Like after so long of trying to cover it up, it's all coming to a head, and it's all starting to everything's starting to resurface. So again going back to the government's going back to the Five Elder Stars whole panic attack they had in a previous chapter, like a couple chapters ago. You can tell they were worried, and I think this is that very reason why, that I think we are going to get at least a portion of the history of the Void Century revealed at this point. With that being said, though, going off the domino effect of this chapter, Oda definitely didn't shy away from showing how Big Mom falling through Onigashima kind of created an unintentional kind of body count situation, because Zoro's still knocked out cold and is falling through his death, which, yeah, Oda, I haven't forgotten. You still need to address that what the hell is going on with him and that whole Grim Reaper thing. But aside from that, though, the others have kind of completely lost their footing, and Orochi himself looks like he's finally gonna die, which, yeah, on that note, I hadn't thought of it before, but I think it's becoming a little more clear now that the person who looks like Hiyori might actually be one of CP0, as I'm sure he was one of the loose ends that the government was talking about and hoping to tie up. The other thing, though, is Raizo has supposedly won his fight, but honestly, I'm weirdly convinced even more that even if Oda doesn't kill all the Akazaya 9 after Wano is over, then at the very least he will be the one to die. And I probably need to look back, but even more than that, I probably need to look back a little bit, and just to kind of probably need to look back to a couple chapters just to see where Robin is. But yeah, my question right now is, where the fuck is Robin? She was I know Oda can't focus on every Straw Hat, every character in one chapter, but yeah, every time we don't get something with Robin, I always worry about her more and more and more. I'm hoping it isn't the worst case scenario, frankly, but we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. Just honestly, this is one of those chapters where I really want to know what you guys think. Please comment down below what you think of this reveal, because honestly, I'm convinced more than ever myself that it is going to be a thing where we are going to get a major reveal of the Void Century at this point. It is an incoming thing now. But that's all I got for this review, guys. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Analyst, Crunchyroll. Be sure to hit the notification bell, subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight Vinay signing off. Later, everyone.